Hi guys, cinematic recap here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American fantasy and drama movie, called Liar Liar. In one class, a teacher asks her students about their father's professions. A boy replies that his father is a truck driver, a girl replies that her father is a doctor. However, there is another boy named Max who replies that his father's profession is a liar. After school, Max and his mother, Audrey, are waiting for his father. Not long after, his father, Fletcher, finally comes back home and immediately hugs him. They often play a game where Fletcher makes his hand into the claw, with which he tickles Max and pretends to chase him. After that, Fletcher wants to take Max to the wrestling show, but suddenly a guy named Jerry comes there and he immediately kisses Audrey in front of Fletcher. It turns out that Fletcher and Audrey were already divorced, and Jerry is Audrey's boyfriend all along. Shortly after, Audrey goes inside the house with Jerry and Fletcher goes to the wrestling show with Max. On their way, Max asks his father if they are going to the wrestling show or not. At first, Fletcher says yes, but he has a habit of giving precedence to his career as a lawyer. His compulsive lying has also built him a reputation as a successful defense lawyer at his firm. He then takes Max to his office while giving fake compliments to everyone. Afterwards, they meet Fletcher's assistant, Greta, who says that Fletcher has prepared a present for Max's birthday tomorrow. Therefore, Fletcher is forced to lie again and takes Max to another room. Luckily, Greta has prepared a present for him because she already knew that Fletcher must have forgotten his son's birthday. He then meets his boss, Miranda, saying that she heard about his win today at the court. He is ordered to come to her house at night so he can be promoted later. In another room, Max is looking at his father with an angry look and says that they will not go to the wrestling show. That night, Jerry and Audrey go on a date. Jerry suddenly proposes to her to marry him and asks her to move to another city. However, she does not seem ready for it, as if she is still hoping for Fletcher's love. Meanwhile, Fletcher is very busy with his work while Max is still waiting for him. Because it's 12 at night, Fletcher immediately gives Max the present which Greta had prepared for him earlier. Max must be very happy to receive the present. He then invites his father to play with him, but Fletcher refuses because he is very busy right now. Once again, Max is very disappointed to hear this. The following day, Jerry and Audrey come to pick up Max. Max shows Jerry the gift from Fletcher and the two of them promise to play together. Audrey also reminds Fletcher not to forget to come to Max's birthday party tonight. Back to his office, Fletcher and Miranda meets with their new client named Samantha. She is a gold digger and wants to divorce from her husband to get half of his property. She comes to Fletcher with the problem that Samantha founds it is impossible for her to win in court because she has cheated on his husband 7 times. However, with his shrewdness in using very convincing words, Fletcher manages to persuade Samantha not to give up and keep fighting for her rights because she will get more money if she wins in court. She eventually changes her mind and agrees with Fletcher's idea of winning the court at all costs. Thus, Miranda is amazed by Fletcher's skill to convince Samantha because her company will make a big profit from the case. After saying this, she kisses him badly, even though he does not want to. Meanwhile, Max, Audrey, and Jerry are celebrating Max's birthday. All the kids are very happy, except for Max, who is still waiting for his father to come. Out of the blue, Fletcher calls Audrey to tell her that he cannot make it to Max's birthday because he is forced to sleep with Miranda that night. Soon, Max is very disappointed after he knows that his father cannot come to his birthday party. Because of that, he keeps thinking that his father always lies to him. He then makes a birthday wish that his father will be unable to tell a lie for an entire day, which immediately becomes true. The next morning, Fletcher feels something strange inside him. While he is on his way to court, a beggar asks him to give him some money. However, Fletcher honestly says he is a stingy person. He then goes inside to the court while Samantha is already there. Shortly after, Samantha's husband, Richard, and his lawyer intimidate Fletcher by saying that Fletcher does not have a case to fight in the court. He initially wants to lie about the case, but at this time he is only able to tell the truth. He tries so hard to lie, but he couldn't. At the same time, the judge enters the court. Fletcher pleads with the judge to postpone the court, but the judge refuses his request. During recess, Fletcher returns to his office, but this time he says terrible thing which break everyone's heart. He decides to test himself in his room by taking a blue color pen in his hand and tries to call it red, but he couldn't say red. He becomes frustrated and breaks everything in front of him. After that, Greta comes inside his room and says that Audrey called him just now, asking him to drive Max to school. He immediately calls Audrey, but she already knows that Fletcher has lied again, so she does it herself. When they arrive, Audrey cheers on Max when he starts losing hope in his father. He then tells his mother that last night he wished for his father not to tell lies anymore, but he is not sure if his wish would be granted. On the other side, Fletcher calls Audrey again and says that something strange is happening to him, while Audrey tells him that she plans to move to Boston with Jerry, and decides that Max will go with them to protect him from the disappointment that Fletcher caused when he broke his promise. Because he is afraid to lose Max, he immediately goes to Audrey's house as soon as possible. However, he later gets pulled over for speeding. Therefore, he asks Audrey's help to pay the fees for his car. He then begs her to give him one last chance to show that he has changed. As Audrey is devastated to hear this, she informs him that her flight to Boston is tonight. If he does not meet Max later, then she will definitely go to Boston with Jerry and Max. Before leaving, she also says that Max wished for his birthday that his father wouldn't lie anymore. Hence, Fletcher realizes that all of this strangeness is happening because of Max's wish last night. He then goes to Max's school and asks Max to take his wish back. He promises Max that he will not lie to him again, but he needs to lie about his work as a lawyer. He brings a cake and asks Max to take his wish back. Apparently, he still cannot lie and keeps telling the truth to other people. He is very confused and Max says at first he wished from his heart, but this time he cannot do that because he doesn't want his father to lie anymore. Upon hearing this, Max goes back to the class while Fletcher feels so sad that he has done wrong for his son. Later, it is the time for Fletcher to say something bad to Greta, which makes her leave with all her stuff. In the next scene, Fletcher goes back to the court, and the judge orders them to start the prosecution. He doesn't know what to do when Richard's lawyer shows the evidence when Samantha was having an affair with another man. He drinks a lot of water and asks the judge for permission to go to the bathroom. Fletcher thinks desperately how to delay the case, even beating himself up in the toilet so the judge can give him another date for the case. A security guard takes him inside the courtroom. However, he answers honestly when the judge asks if he can continue the prosecution even though he is badly injured. Then the judge gives another 10 minutes break before continuing with the prosecution. Fletcher receives a call from Max and says that he will meet Max after some time. After that, Samantha calls him from the back and introduces him to her main witness, Kenneth, with whom she has been having an affair all along. When the prosecution begins, Fletcher orders Kenneth to be his witness in court. However, since he cannot lie, he instead defends Richard by cornering his own witness. Therefore, Kenneth becomes very mad and admits all his mistakes. Hearing all these confessions, the judge plans to end the prosecution because Samantha has been proven guilty and is certain to lose. Fortunately, he soon discovers that Samantha had lied about her age and therefore had signed the prenuptial agreement as a minor without parental consent, rendering the contract void. This entitles Samantha to 50% of Richard's marital assets, equal to $11 million, allowing Fletcher to win the case truthfully. Furthermore, Samantha also insists on contesting custody of their children for an extra money and monthly child support payments from Richard. The judge also orders to give the kids to Samantha. After seeing this, he realizes that he had corrupted Samantha with his own lies. When she is taking the kids with her, Richard starts crying and begs at least he gets the kids. At that moment, Fletcher finally realizes what it takes to be a good father and he is not treating his son well enough. Horrified by his mistake, Fletcher demands the judge to reverse the decision because he manipulated the entire system, but his attitude angers the judge and he is arrested for insulting of court. In the police station, he calls Audrey to bail him out. However, she says that he does not come today and they are leaving to Boston. Since Fletcher always lies to her, Audrey does not believe him and hangs up the call. Luckily, Greta eventually bails him out of the jail. He feels grateful and thanks her. Recognizing Max as his highest priority, Fletcher rushes to the airport, but he meets the beggar on the road. This time, he gives him so much money. When he arrives at the airport, he finds out that the flight has already left the terminal. In desperation, he hijacks a mobile stairway to pursue the plane onto the runway. When he looks through the window, Max thinks that his father just wants to say goodbye. Fletcher tries another way by throwing one of his shoes at the plane's windshield. Thus, the pilot decides to stop the plane, but Fletcher is injured and breaks his leg after he crashes the mobile stairway. On a stretcher, he tells Max that he has changed his whole life and vows that he will spend more time with him. He also points out that it has been over 24 hours since Max's birthday wish. After hearing this, Max believes him and becomes very happy. Moreover, Audrey and Max decide not to move to Boston with Jerry. 1 year later, Fletcher and Audrey are celebrating Max's birthday. Max makes a birthday wish, only to find that Fletcher and Audrey are kissing. Fletcher asks Max if he wished for them to get back together, but Max says he just wished for rollerblades. The family is back to the way it used to be as Fletcher chases Audrey and Max around the house with the claw. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.